What is up, you guys? TITOBODS here, and today we're going to talk about the mount system in the game. I'm going to show you how it looks like and how to achieve or unlock each of this one, and what kind of purpose or what type of skills or attributes we can actually get from the mount, and if it's good or bad, the pros and the cons and everything in between. I think this is going to be a 15-minute video at least, but hang on to me because I'm going to tell you everything you know about the new mount system that's coming into the game. First of all, before we proceed with this video, kindly do like the video and share to your friends. Now, if you are new to the channel, you like Age of Empires Mobile, or you play the game, maybe you could consider subscribing to the channel. And also, don't forget to ring that bell so that you will always be notified soon as we have a new video just for you. Okay, let's now talk about the individual thing that is available here in your riding grounds or the mounts. So we have the mount management. So here you can see all your mounts available. Then also which hero has your mounts. Now each individual mounts has their own abilities. Like this one, we have might and strategy. So they also have what we call the temperament. So temperament is like the chance of your mount to have a specific attributes or any other skill that can be passed down to your or mutate to your next mount if you're going to use them for mute. Like for example, this one, the temperament is fearless. So fearless means that you can increase chance for mounts to obtain universal traits after mutation. So those are your temperaments. So every one of them has different temperament. Like for example, this one, increased mount inheritance chance. So as I've said, everything here is going to be mostly random and based on RNG. Another one for this one, increased chance for mounts to obtain healing traits. So for example, you want that kind of trait, you need to breed this one with another one with the temperament of protective, so that you can increase your chance to have that type of trait on your next breeding. So that's about it with your mount management. Consider this as your hero pool. Like for example, your horses are your heroes. So let's say you consider it that way so that you won't be lost in the process. Now your heroes have your attributes. Your heroes also have your talents. Instead of talents, this one are traits. So you have your traits. And of course, your hero has your equipment. So let's consider your adornment equipment. So that's about it. Now, I want you guys to understand that the adornment workshop in here is unlockable. So you can unlock this one on the animal research. It's actually here. This one, bloodline stability, if I'm not mistaken, because I think that's the one that I've unlocked to open up the adornment workshop. It's not going to be available right away. So you need to unlock that one first. So I think that's the priority when you have your animal research center in here. Now, let's go first with your search. You're going to need your mount whistles in order for you to search for a horse. Now you can get this mount whistles here in your the Desolate Desert event, as what we have right now. Now we also have Fallen Frontier, which is another RNG event. So on the Fallen Frontier, that's going to be another RNG event. That is actually okay, honestly, that we have other choices other than Desolate Desert, because the Desolate Desert really has a bad reward system right now. But honestly, GEE is becoming really good right now. Additional rewards have been added, and I think they're going to do the same in your Desolate Desert. Now, as I've said, when you search, for example, you have 10 pieces of it, you're going to search for it. So you will have 10 pieces of random type of mounts. So you will have rare mounts and epic mounts in the process. Now you can do this multiple times, and you can only get those. So there is a chance here actually to obtain higher proficiency in this process, but the thing is you only have, like, let's say 0.03% of getting a legendary one, and when you have 200,000 proficiency, you will have 0.11%. Now the proficiency is actually seen on your animal research. So this is actually what will add to your proficiency. Your keen eye for steeds mount searches proficiency gain, so plus 50. So that's going to be a huge thing when you are searching for your horses. That's why I suggest for your animal research, focus first on the right side here, especially for the proficiency and your adornment. As I've said before, there's only like this one. This is actually what will mostly happen if you have not maxed the proficiency yet. This is what will happen. You will see a lot of rare mounts in the process. Now let's go now to your breeding center now. The temperament, as I've said, I explained it earlier, it depends on what type of thing you're going to get from your horses if you're going to mutate them. Now the traits are have a lot of differences. We're going to talk about it in a bit. So let's go first with your traits. So the traits here are actually, we have a lot of traits, honestly. Like we have the Overpower, Mounted Hero, Active Skill, Might Damage Increase. We have the Gallant here, Mounted Hero, Secondary Strike Damage Increase. Valor here, Mounted Hero, Passive Skill, Might Damage Increase. I'm not going to get through everything because of the time that we have. But if you want to pause this video and see for yourself what these are, I'm going to show it right here. Let's just move our avatar away. So that the last one is Healing Armor. As you can see, your troop receive healing effect increased by 0.8% to 4% depending on your level. So we also have the breeding rules here, which I'm not going to mention anyway. But the mount here, the modes of inheritance, and the temperament are actually important, especially if you are going for the quality, the base attributes, and of course, the range of the attributes that you can get from these things. Now, one thing is for sure, if you're going to, example, let's say you want to mutate someone, let's look for something, increased mount atavism chance. Okay. So, also, one thing to note is that your traits are not stuck to just one. So, like this one, you have 2 traits. So you can see you can also use that as inheritance or inherited traits for your horses or for your mounts. Let's say we add this one and okay, let's try this one. Now, there is now lower chance of having no traits at all, like 10%. Then you have a double traits chance higher with 54% and only single trait chance of 36%. So you will have a better chance to get double traits. So let's try to breed this one. Okay, so now as you can see, we only have a single trait, but the trait is actually a higher tier type because this one is legendary. Mounted heroes, all types of damage increases. All types of damage increases by 8%. That is a huge addition for your traits. So it doesn't really matter if your horses are legendary, but once you have a legendary trait, which is 8%, look at that. That is actually a huge adjustment or advancement for your troop that you're going to use this on. So you have here might, it actually increased from 2, now 3, you have armor, but those are the only downside of having a rare mount because you will only have a few or a low number of might and armor. But the thing with this is that the percentage still, you cannot deny that the percentage of the legendary traits are actually good, even if it's a rare horse. Now, another thing is that you can see this insight points in here. You can see the, sorry. You can see the insight points right there. So it says +7. So only 7 insight points have been added to your insight points, which is, you're going to need this for your research. Now, let's continue breeding. Let's show you, I'm going to show you. This one on the right side is actually your insight points. So you're going to need those insight points to level up your research. So for example, this one. You need 1080 insight points to get to this one. So you're going to need a lot of this. And you can actually get it from breeding. Now, another thing with your breeding is, for example, we're going to breed another one, let's say. 2 legendary ones. That is actually the same. Let's say, do we have another protective? Yes, we have. Okay. So we have 2 protective temperament. Okay, so protective temperament means increased chance of mounts to obtain healing traits after mutation. So you have 2 of them. So there's going to be a chance to get this for 50%. And since you have 2 of the protective traits, you will have higher chance to get a healing traits after combining this. And look at the quality percentage. Only 1% for your mythical quality, and the legendary is 99.0%. Then as you can see how the level of your, or how much the amount of your might or your armor is going to be added if you're going to use a legendary mount instead of your rare ones. Let's now try to breed this one. Okay, we have successfully gotten your lifesaver, which is a recovery trait from your protective temperament. This one is an epic or an epic skill, but it's actually a good one because you can see after the mounted hero cause recovery effects, like let's say you give this to Freddy, all damage taken by your troops reduces by 3.65%. It mimics like the effect of your Peaceful Haven, but on its lowest level. Now let's go to your mass breeding. Like for example, we have a lot of rare, and we want just epic and legendary. You can just go to your parents' quality here, then click on rare, click on epic and above, and confirm. And then if you want to preserve a trait, or if there are horses here that you want to preserve with a trait of, let's say, overpower. Okay, and confirm. So if you want to preserve that and you start mass breeding, if there are horses or mounts that has overpower for the rare ones, it's going to be preserved. If there is, but if there isn't, there is no mounts to be left after. That's mostly about the breeding center. Now let's go to your research. So as I've said, you're going to need your insight points for your research. You can get it from the mount breeding as what we've got. For the mole, it really depends. I think imagine it's like doing your hammers on the mole. So I think it's comparable to that. Here, it will actually apply your one hero, one troop at a time, and then you're going to maximize that. For example, me, I use the pikeman here, 10, 10, 10. But the problem here is that when you hit this one, when you hit the all unit types attack, it will require you to level up your other individual troop type. Like for example here, we are required to do level 7. So you're going to research this up to level 7. And look at this. Once you max each individual part here, like for example, this one, pikeman attack, 15%. 15%. That's how high these things get. This one, pikeman's defense, 15%. Another one, pikeman's health, 7.5%. Imagine if you have all of your troops like that, you're going to have a lot of stats. And now, when you have this one, all unit types attack. Now, next up here, you have cavalry, increased damage, increased again. So like this one is cavalry attack, but this one is cavalry damage. So it's a higher tier. Once you open this up, and I think that same way goes here for your all unit types defense. And then at the end of all this is another health. You see how important health is? Every single research has higher health. Like this is another health in here. And that's about it for your research there. Now on the right side, as I've said, you need to first finish the skin of Eye of Steeds, then also the bloodline stability. You don't really need to get a higher level of this in the early stages of the game. But honestly, you need to get at least here to get more insight points gained from breeding. Then at the end of this, the trait mutation chance for breeding will be also additional. Honestly, for me, if you're going to breed, max out first all the things for your hero. After you get to your bloodline stability, you've unlocked your, let's say, your adornment, and then you max out your keen eye for steeds. You max this one out, and you max the bloodline stability. Next thing is that you max out first your troop type. Like for example, your main troops are for your pikeman. Now get this, unlock it first until the pikeman's health, because I think you can unlock this at level 3, level 3, level 3. Once you have, what you need to do next is to proceed to your insight advancement, because I think after the insight advancement has been added, you're going to have a lot of more insight to gain from your breeding so that you can level up the other parts of the researches in here. And once you have good levels of your research, you can now proceed to your legacy inheritance line here. So I think that's the best thing if you're going to do it that way, because you're going to be efficient. So I think that's about it for your animal research. Then when it comes to your adornment here, you can actually see all the types of adornment are individually made or tailored for each of your troop type. For example, swift blade, swordsman attack. For your mystic armor, you have swordsman defense. For your guiding star, you have pikeman attack. Then stalwart shield for your pikeman defense. You have unyielding iron for your cavalry attack, sacred lily for your cavalry defense, and piercing arrow for your archer attack, and your eagle's blessing for your archer's defense. Now you can get this by using meteorite steel. This is a new thing added in the game once you have your desolate desert and your mount system released in your server. So every time you craft this one, you will have a random special effects. So this is how your special effects looks like. These are the special effects. Kindly just pause the video so that you can actually see each individual special effect. So I'm just going to run it by here. And the thing is, when you have the special effects, both your attack, adornment, or let's say your swift blade here and your shield over there, both of them can actually get individual special effect. They have the same pool of special effect. As you can see here for your mystic mirror, sorry, it's not a shield, it's a mirror, I'm sorry. So anyway, we have here the same special effects, as you can see. it's the same. So it really depends on the generator. I think you just have to consider being satisfied with what you get from the early stages of this one. And okay, we don't have that one. Now let's see what we have though. We have a lot of level 1s, as you can see. Now we have one, let's say resistance. Okay, not good for me. We have charge. Okay, charge is okay. Charge is good. Now, if you want to dismantle this, you can actually get half your investment. As you can see, if we dismantle, you can get half your investment. So it's really not that bad. But anyway, let's go and I will show you how this works. So imagine if you have a horse. Let's look for a horse that's good for, let's say, swordsman, because we're talking about swords. Active skill, damage increase, 4.4%. And we also have solo battle, hero's damage increase by 5.2%, which is huge. And this one is a legendary horse. And we have might and strategy. So you have might and strategy in there. Let's go use the thunder. Okay, equipped. So we have a thunder swift blade over here on this mount. So as I've said, imagine your adornment as your armors for your heroes, and the horse is your hero. So your hero is the horse, and your adornments are your equipment. Because adornments work that way. So you have swordsman's attack for your weapon, but the thing is that you only have one adornment per mount. So you need to be wise about choosing which you want to do. Is it attack or is it the defense? So let's say this one is going to be attack for us. So we have intensification, which is leveling up your armors, or here in this process, it's our adornment. We have raw iron in here, and raw iron is I consider this one like your, let's say, forging kit, because this one has levels, like for example this one. Let's go to level 20. And once you get to that boundary wherein you are at level 20 and you want to go to tier 2 of this adornment, you're going to use a separate type of requirement. This one here, you need another type of requirement, which is refined iron, for you to level up to that tier 2 of your swift blade. So you're going to use that, so you advance, and now you're going to level it up again. So intensification again. So we're going to intensify this sword health, and which is actually, if you're going to think of it, it's actually considered, if you think of it this way, your adornment really are like your equipment, because of the stats that you can get from them. Look at the attack bonus, we have 12.4%. Here, the health, we have 4.5%. Then we have another boundary here. So we have advanced, as you can see there. Let's max it out. Okay, so once we hit 60, we don't really need the refined iron anymore. We don't really need that. I just want you guys to see. Okay, so once it's maxed out, it's going to be like this. It's going to look like that. So there's no more thing you can intensify. Now we have here also the attributes reroll. Don't worry, it's not a reroll, but rather an upgrade. So here, after the mounted hero launches a normal attack, which is the thing with your swift blade, that's your trait, right? Now you can actually increase the skill damage here by using your, I don't know how this is called, but by using that and also another raw iron. So what you do is to hold on to this attribute reroll and let the magic happen. And it will level up. So you have here the chance of tier value. It means you're going to level this up. So there are 5 tiers in here for the rare ones, and then up to your mythical. It's leveled up. We are now in the epic. It's just equalized. You can see there. It's another equalized. It's another equalized. Another equalized there. Okay, leveled up. Equalized. Equalized. Oh, level down. As you can see there, we have a level down because of the chances. So this one is another RNG. That's why I call this system the RNG king, because everything you do here is all RNG. Okay, now we've hit the legendary part. Let's see if we can go to mythic. Okay, now we are at the mythical level. As you can see, look at the next skill damage. It's from 7%, now 18.05%. But it's not easy to get there because you're going to need a lot of this and a lot of raw iron in order for you to get one. So as I've suggested before, just focus on one hero at a time, one troop type at a time, and now one mount and one adornment at a time. If you're going to level this up again, look at that. You have only 20% now. It's going to be harder and harder to pull this off. So you can see there, it's just going back and forth. Back. This is where your rituals, your techniques or tactics on how to level up RNG things will actually be useful if you have one. Look at that, we are almost at the top, but we are now back at 1. But anyway, I hope you did understand how this adornment evolved, and we're going to mount this one. So let's say we have already mounted it, and I think we have, for example, this Miyamoto here, we have 2 attributes. So we have might and strategy, and we have maxed swift blade, and we have charge. As I've said, we also have this one like that. And now it's equipped with our Miyamoto. Okay, here. You can see your overall bonus troop in here. So you have might attack at 600 now because of the mounts, the strategy attack. I want you guys to look at this one. And honestly, it doesn't really show your whole stats because you have your individual mount traits and adornments and everything else. But other than that, you can actually compare them. If we're going to remove this one, let's say with this mount, of course, the overall bonus of everything is going to go down. Look at that. So that's how each individual mounts work, or that's how each individual mounts added to your potential. Now I think that's about it for your mounts. What do you guys think about the new mounts? And do you have any recommendations for the devs to do in here, or what kind of adjustments do you think is necessary for this to fit into the current servers that we already have and to the new servers that's going to have this one? And also, if you think I missed out something or you have any questions at all, also leave them down in the comments. If you reached this part of the video, kindly give us a thumbs up, share this video with your friends, and if you are new to the channel and you like Age of Empires mobile content, or this is the game that you play, kindly do consider subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to ring that bell so you will always be notified soon as we have a video just for you. And thank you for joining me in this video. Have a great day to everyone. This is your TITOBODS, and I will see you in the next one.